Baldur's Gate 3 is set in the Forgotten Realms, which is among the most renowned backdrops for Dungeons and Dragons quests. Within the cosmology of the Forgotten Realms are numerous planes of existence, a selection of which players can explore in the game. However, few realms are as perilous for mortals as the 9 Hells. This is Trixie from Pixel Party, and today we're going to take a closer look at the gateway to the 9 Hells, Avernus. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. The 9 Hells are alternately known as circles, or layers. This series commences with Avernus, the foremost and uppermost circle. Avernus represented the largest stratum within Baldur, and one of the quintessential infernal landscapes, an annihilated hellscape in the most literal sense, brimming with rivers of molten lava, desolate hills, and low, rugged mountains that extended as far as the eye could perceive. Attempting to ascend the mountains or moving too swiftly was at best ill-advised, given that obsidian, quartz, and other crystals protruded from the jagged terrain, capable of tearing clothing and flesh. The pervasive presence of rocks and boulders, some of which bore an uncanny resemblance to tormented visages and creature forms, rendered the landscape exceptionally treacherous and problematic to navigate. Debris cloaked the expansive, ash-covered plains of Avernus's charred wastelands, interspersed with simmering tar pits, engulfing quicksand, pools of molten lava, and salt flats formed from the anguish of the damned. Across the dusky sky of Avernus, fireballs darted, seemingly haphazardly, though closer scrutiny revealed deliberate targeting of movement, plummeting onto the scorched ground and leaving behind smoldering impact craters and charred cadavers. Travelers would require shelter, whether a building or a cave, to evade the inevitable strikes. The noxious air was veiled with pumice and volcanic ash exuding from foul fumaroles, accompanied by swarms of flies. Swirling clouds of crimson and obsidian flickered with orange flames, yet the heavens lacked both sun and stars, basking solely in a perpetual, blood-red radiance permeating the atmosphere. Remarkably, blood was the recurring motif of Avernus. It was there that the river of blood coursed through Baldur, collecting tributaries from every ravine, stream, and pool, born from them casualties of countless battles. Virtually the entire plain was drenched in a veneer of blood and strewn with bones and carnage, whether infernal, demonic, or otherwise, serving as a grim testament to the routine bloodshed that marked a typical day in this realm. Avernus was previously governed by Tiamat, an archfiend who served Asmodeus. She was tasked with preventing rebellious devils on the layer from becoming a threat, but her performance disappointed Asmodeus, leading to her demotion. Despite this, Asmodeus allowed Tiamat to remain in the realm, and even gave her a chance to regain her standing by guarding the main gate to Dis. This arrangement lasted until Tiamat was elevated to demigoddess status. Following Tiamat's departure, Zariel assumed rulership over Avernus. However, she was later betrayed by Bel, a pit fiend general not among the Dark Eight, who overthrew her with the intention of increasing his own power. During Bel's rule, Asmodeus enlisted Tiamat's covert assistance to undermine Bel's influence, and to keep Tiamat under control. After a series of power shifts, Zariel regained control of Avernus, aided by Asmodeus. The realm, once prosperous and civilized, was transformed into a desolate wasteland due to the ongoing blood war. Zariel's return to power was marked by her involvement with the Red Wizards of Thay in an effort to remove Tiamat's influence from the lair. Avernus served as the gateway to Baldur, whether for the living or the deceased, and was the most frequented among the 9 Hells. This was due to Asmodeus' decree that portals leading to other regions be forbidden, making Avernus the primary entry point. As a result, damned souls had to pass through Avernus before reaching other layers of the Nine Hells. Consequently, the layer often hosted the followers of other archdevils, such as the Barbazoos who gathered the Forsaken, as well as Imp and Spinagon messengers. The main rationale behind this magical restriction was to necessitate that a demonic invasion force, aiming to access the lower layers of Hell, would first have to conquer and seize the layer directly above it. Functioning as a buffer zone between the Nine Hells and the Abyss, Avernus was inherently perilous, even aside from its inherent dangers, as Betazu armies trained in preparation for future conflicts. Once teeming with cities and citadels, centuries of relentless engagement in the Blood War led to its devastation, leaving behind only persistently rebuilt strongholds and formidable fortresses. The layer maintained a perpetual expansion through military conquest. The storyline of Baldur's Gate 3 unfolds shortly after the events of Descent into Avernus. It commences with players finding themselves involuntarily transported to Avernus. Stranded aboard a Mind Flayer nautiloid, players take their initial steps within Baldur's Gate 3, while hurtling through the chaotic realm of Avernus. They are pursued by Githyanki dragon riders and participants of the ongoing Blood War. Although the tutorial phase of the game concludes with the nautiloid returning to the Sword Coast, it won't be the last time players encounter Avernus. The descent in Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus, pertains to the fall of the holy city of El Chirel. This Sword Coast city was dragged into Avernus through the machinations of the archdevil Zariel. While El Chirel has been restored to the surface by the start of Baldur's Gate 3, all tiefling residents have been exiled from the city due to their infernal lineage. Early in Act 1, players encounter a significant number of these tiefling refugees and can listen to their account of El Chirel's plunge into Avernus. Subsequently, players have the chance to delve deeper into the understanding of Avernus through an encounter with the tiefling barbarian Karlach, an origin character and potential companion in Baldur's Gate 3. As a slave champion under Zariel's command in the Blood War, Karlach perceived the arrival of the nautiloid as an opportunity to break free from her enslavement and the ceaseless violence of Avernus. Despite being implanted with a tadpole during her escape, she managed to flee. When players meet her, she remains pursued by Zariel's vengeful agents in the mortal realm. As players forge a closer bond with Karlach and fulfill her personal quests, they gain deeper insights into Avernus and the harrowing realities of the Blood War. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to support the channel.